That's where I'll be since Keir left me. I wish tears could heat my home. What can I do without fuel? I've got no place to go. It'll be freezing this Christmas.
Freezing This Christmas by Sir Keir and the Granny Harmers, 79p on iTunes. It is going to be Christmas #1.
Freezing This Christmas has taken the nation by storm, but not in the way typical Christmas tunes do. The parody song written by Chris Middleton and performed by Dean Ager
It'll be freezing this Christmas.
is a scathing critique of government policies. It has struck a chord with millions who feel left out in the cold, both literally and figuratively. The song tells the heartbreaking story of pensioners struggling to stay warm this winter. With energy prices skyrocketing and winter fuel payments drastically reduced, the lyrics capture a grim reality for many elderly Britons. The tune might be catchy, but the message it delivers is a punch to the gut. What makes this song even more significant is its role as a protest anthem. It's not just a humorous take on a serious issue, it's a rallying cry for those who feel neglected by their government. Yet, instead of acknowledging the problem, the establishment seems intent on silencing it. If you believe voices like this need to be heard, join the movement. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video to keep the conversation going. Together, we can shine a light on the issues that matter most.
Are we allowed to play it, Ryan? Ryan, are we allowed to play it? Have we got a bit of it now? This song is by Keir Starmer and the Granny Harmers. I want you to download it. I want it to go to #1.
Despite the song's growing popularity, it has faced an eerie silence from mainstream media outlets, including the BBC. Critics like Katie Hopkins have been vocal about the apparent attempt to bury the track, accusing the establishment of being terrified of its message. They'll try and rig this thing harder than a strictly come dancing vote, Hopkins quipped, highlighting the lengths some believe are being taken to suppress the song's success. The refusal of major networks to air the song has only fueled public outrage. For many, Freezing This Christmas isn't just a song. It's a symbol of resistance against policies they feel are actively harming vulnerable populations. By ignoring it, media outlets are inadvertently shining an even brighter spotlight on the issue. What's particularly striking is the stark contrast between the song's humorous delivery and the grim reality it addresses. Pensioners forced to choose between heating and eating this winter are unlikely to find solace in a government that appears more concerned with controlling the narrative than addressing their struggles. This blatant dismissal of a genuine protest anthem has led to a Streisand effect. The more it's suppressed, the more determined people become to ensure it's heard. Public figures like Hopkins and Jeremy Kyle are urging listeners to download the track and force it to the top of the charts, using their platforms to amplify a message that others are trying to stifle.
If you haven't heard this, download it. This is by Keir Starmer and the Granny Harmers. This needs to be Christmas #1. We need to pressurise the BBC across all formats to play this. This must be #1. Have another go.
The campaign to make Freezing This Christmas a #1 hit isn't just about chart rankings. It's a pointed effort to expose what many see as a deliberate suppression of dissent. Hopkins's energetic calls to action are resonating, with countless listeners rallying to ensure the song gains the attention it deserves. But what's even more troubling than the media blackout is the government's silence. Keir Starmer has made no official statement regarding the song or the concerns it raises. This silence, as Katie Hopkins aptly puts it, speaks volumes. Ignoring the track doesn't diminish its message, it amplifies it, leaving many to question why the government is so afraid of a parody song. Critics argue that this is symptomatic of a broader trend, a leadership more focused on optics than on addressing the real struggles of its citizens. Pensioners, once pillars of British society, are now left to fend for themselves in a crisis that demands immediate action, not excuses. The momentum behind the song isn't just about humor or rebellion, it's about holding leaders accountable. As Hopkins points out, laughter is one of the most powerful weapons we have. By downloading, sharing, and promoting the song, ordinary people are using that weapon to make their voices heard.
And spoke to an 84-year-old woman, worked all her life, obviously now a pensioner. And she told me that she doesn't get out of bed till midday because she didn't want to turn the heating on.
Yeah, it's awful.
And then when she did get out of bed, she had this sort of thermal jacket that she just wore all day long, so she didn't have to put the heating up very high.
The song, Freezing This Christmas, has become more than just a parody. It's a haunting reminder of the real lives affected by government decisions. Stories of pensioners skipping meals or staying in bed to save on heating costs are no longer isolated anecdotes. They're emblematic of a system failing its most vulnerable citizens. Katie Hopkins and others have shone a light on these heartbreaking realities. Pensioners who worked tirelessly for decades are now faced with the cruel choice of food or warmth. An 84-year-old woman shouldn't have to ration her heating or wear layers indoors to survive the winter. These are not sacrifices of resilience. They're signs of neglect. Despite the mounting evidence, mainstream media outlets remain silent. The BBC and others refuse to air the song, claiming it's inappropriate. But what's truly inappropriate is the indifference shown by those in power and their enablers in the media. As one commentator pointed out, this isn't just a song, it's a cry for help wrapped in a melody. By amplifying these stories, the song has galvanized a movement. Supporters are calling out the government's misplaced priorities and demanding immediate action to prevent further suffering this winter. The question remains, how many more stories of hardship will it take before real change happens?
They're doing it again, and guess what? The Streisand Effect. If you ban something, guess what? People want it more and more and more. And we've brought a speaker along to make sure that these mealy-mouthed Christmas killjoys are going to hear this song. She'll give them a blast now.
Outside the BBC headquarters, a crowd gathered, speakers in tow, to ensure freezing this Christmas could not be ignored. GB News presenter Martin Dorney spearheaded this bold protest, playing the banned song in public for all to hear. The scene was electric, a tangible expression of defiance against the media's attempt to suppress a message that resonates deeply with so many. The Streisand Effect, the phenomenon where attempts to suppress information only amplify its spread, is in full force. By banning the song, the establishment has unwittingly catapulted it into the national spotlight. Social media has exploded with clips of the protest, and downloads of Freezing This Christmas have surged, making it a contender for the coveted Christmas #1 spot. This protest isn't just about music, it's about a deeper frustration brewing across the UK. Many feel their voices are being drowned out by a government that prioritizes optics over action. The BBC's refusal to air the song has only intensified the perception that media outlets are complicit in silencing dissent. As Dorney's protest proved, you can't suppress the will of the people forever. The song has become a rallying cry for those tired of being ignored, a symbol of unity among pensioners, activists, and ordinary citizens alike. The louder the government tries to suppress it, the stronger the message becomes.
Your response today regarding frozen pensions was a bitter disappointment to not only to me, who I'm able to speak to you, but to the roughly 500,000 frozen pensioners dotted about the world.
As the controversy grows, Keir Starmer's silence on the matter has only fueled public outrage. His refusal to address the song or the larger issues it highlights, rising energy costs, frozen pensions, and widespread discontent, has left many questioning his leadership. Instead of tackling these concerns head-on, Starmer appears to be sidestepping them, relying on media silence to suppress dissent. This avoidance has not gone unnoticed. Critics from across the political spectrum are calling out Starmer for his lack of accountability. The parliamentary exchange highlighted the growing chasm between government policy and the everyday struggles of pensioners. The opposition is using this moment to emphasize the Labour government's failure to prioritize its most vulnerable citizens. The song Freezing This Christmas serves as a powerful symbol of this disconnect. It represents the frustration of a population tired of being overlooked, their voices drowned out by a government more focused on maintaining power than addressing real issues. Starmer's failure to respond is being viewed as an admission of guilt, a leader out of touch with the realities of the people he claims to serve. As this controversy unfolds, the question lingers. Will this be the moment the public demands accountability from its leaders? Or will the voices behind freezing this Christmas be silenced by the very institutions meant to protect their rights? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this song will spark real action? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on stories that impact you. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.